Manifest instantly using the observer effect, not by pushing harder, not by forcing reality to bend to your will, not by overthinking or repeating affirmations endlessly. The power of manifestation is quieter, it is simpler, it is hidden in the way you observe. Most people think manifestation is about intensity, about desire, about wanting more and visualizing longer. But that is only half the story. Reality does not respond to intensity, it responds to presence. It responds to clarity. It responds to stability. Before something appears in your life, it exists as a field of possibilities, multiple possibilities, many different outcomes at once. Your job is not to chase one outcome. Your job is not to panic or push. Your job is to allow a single possibility to settle, to collapse into form. The observer effect in quantum physics shows that the act of observing changes what is observed, but the key is how you observe. The quality of your observation determines the clarity of the outcome. A tense observer keeps things uncertain. A relaxed observer creates definition. A calm observer collapses possibilities into reality. Most people want something and immediately check for it. They scan for signs. They analyze progress. They wonder if it is happening yet. This checking creates tension. Tension sends a signal to your nervous system that it is not here. That signal matters more than your thoughts, more than your affirmations. Your body is the instrument of observation. Your brain, your heart, your muscles, your breath. If your mind says it is here, but your body feels restless, your observation is split. A split observation creates a split outcome. That is why manifestation often feels slow, not because you are unworthy, not because the universe is ignoring you, but because you keep interfering. You keep destabilizing the process. Imagine holding a camera. The more your hands shake, the blurrier the image. The steadier your hands, the clearer the picture. Your nervous system is your camera. The steadier you are, the more reality aligns with you. The more stable your internal state, the faster possibilities collapse into form. Most people think manifestation is about wanting, but wanting is not enough. Wanting without presence creates anxiety. Anxiety is unstable observation. When you want something and your body tightens, your heart races, your chest constricts, your system registers absence. Your body is telling the field that it is not yet here. Your brain is constantly predicting outcomes. It compares what you expect with what you see. When you check constantly, your brain looks for mismatch. When it finds none, it creates tension. That tension becomes the dominant signal. That signal is what manifests, not your words or images. You visualize something. You feel good for a moment. Then you check. Then you feel a subtle drop. Then you check again. Each cycle strengthens the pattern of waiting. Each cycle wires delay into your system. Neurons that fire together wire together. Repetition of tension becomes your default. You are not blocking reality. You are conditioning your system to expect delay. The observer effect is not mystical. It is real. It is biological. Your body is the observer. Your nervous system is the instrument. Heart rhythms, breath, micro-muscle tension, brain waves. When these are chaotic, your observation is chaotic. Chaos keeps possibilities open. Coherence closes them. The key is stability. The key is presence. The key is calm certainty. The observer effect works best when you observe without reacting, when you assume the outcome is natural, when you do not monitor constantly, when you live as if it is already integrated into your life. This is not pretending. It is not forcing belief. It is internal regulation. It is coherence between mind, body, and emotion. When you watch from calm certainty, you send a clean signal, a signal the field can respond to. When you watch from tension, fear, or doubt, you send a fragmented signal. That fragmentation keeps the waves suspended. You are interacting with the field, but you are doing it in a way that prevents collapse. The more you check, the more you anticipate, the more you measure, the more the probability remains undefined. This is why manifestation feels slow, not because reality resists you, not because you are lacking, but because your observation is inconsistent. You can shift this instantly. The first step is awareness. Awareness of how you observe, awareness of how your body reacts, awareness of your mental chatter, awareness of subtle tension in your jaw, shoulders, chest, stomach. These small signals determine whether the outcome collapses or remains suspended. The second step is regulation. Regulation of nervous system. Slow breath, soften the jaw, relax the shoulders. Notice micro muscle contraction and release it. Lengthen the exhale. Let your body feel safe. Safety stabilizes observation. Stability collapses possibility. Imagine holding a tuning fork near a vibrating string. If your hand shakes, the resonance is distorted. If your hand is steady, the resonance locks in. Your nervous system is your hand. Your internal state is the tuning fork. The steadier you are, the clearer the outcome. The calmer you are, the faster manifestation settles. Participation is not panic. Participation is presence. Most people think they are participating by obsessively checking, by scanning for signs, by overthinking, but that is not participation. That is interference. The field is not a machine that ignores you. The field is responsive. It responds to stabilized perception. Calm observation is participation. Calm certainty is participation. Calm assumption is participation. When you stop interfering, when you stop destabilizing, when you stop measuring from fear, the wave collapses naturally. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly. They are not lucky, they are stable. Their nervous systems are calm. They assume completion. They do not monitor constantly. They let reality settle around them. They live in the state of the version of themselves for whom the manifestation is already complete. That is not positive thinking. That is applying quantum mechanics to daily life. Your body and mind are instruments. Your observation is the signal. The field responds to the signal. Stability produces faster collapse than intensity. Presence produces faster results than desire. Relaxation produces faster alignment than struggle. Now ask yourself, how are you observing? Are you reacting from doubt or tension? Or are you observing from calm certainty? Are you constantly checking, or are you letting go? Are you scanning, or are you existing in the assumption that it is done? Your current observation is shaping your reality more than any technique you know. You cannot force the collapse. You can only stop destabilizing it. That is the secret of instant manifestation. You do not push. You do not wait. You do not monitor. You simply observe with clarity. You stabilize your nervous system. You relax. You breathe. You exist in certainty. You assume completion. That is enough. The faster you learn to stop interfering, the faster your desired reality aligns with you. The quieter your observation, the more powerful your manifestation. Calmness is your signal. Presence is your tool. Stability is your power. And this is where transformation begins. When you observe without tension, the possibilities collapse naturally. When you exist without interference, the outcome aligns with you. This is the observer effect applied to life. This is how reality responds to you. This is how manifestation happens instantly. Most people think desire is the engine of manifestation. They think wanting harder will make it appear faster. They think pushing more will collapse the wave sooner. But desire without regulation becomes anxiety. Anxiety is unstable observation. When you want something and your chest tightens, your stomach clenches, your breath shortens, your nervous system interprets that as absence. That signal matters more than your affirmations, more than your visualization. Your body is the strongest transmitter in the equation. Your nervous system is the lens through which reality is measured. High tension, high anticipation, constant scanning, these produce fragmented signals. Part of you says it is done, another part scans for proof. That split keeps the probability suspended. That split keeps outcomes undefined. That split is why manifestation feels delayed. Your brain is constantly comparing expectation to evidence. It predicts outcomes, checks, and evaluates. When you scan for results, your nervous system notes discrepancy. No result becomes absence. Absence becomes the dominant measurement. Your observation is no longer from certainty, it is from doubt. And doubt is not just a thought, it is a physiological pattern. Jaw tightens, shoulders contract, micromuscles tense, heart rate fluctuates, breath shortens, cortisol spikes. This internal tension becomes the signal the universe receives. This is why most manifestations feel slow. Not because reality resists you, not because you are unworthy, but because your observation is inconsistent. The observer effect is not mystical, it is biological. Your nervous system, heart rhythm, breath, and micromuscles are instruments of observation. When they are chaotic, your observation is chaotic. Chaos keeps possibility open. Coherence closes it. Calm, regulated observation produces faster collapse than intensity. This is the principle most people miss. You cannot outforce reality. You cannot push it into existence. You can only provide a clear signal. The clearer the signal, the faster the collapse. The calmer the observer, the more certain the outcome. Your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your breath, when these align, the field responds efficiently. This is coherence. This is the key to instant manifestation. The moment you stop reacting to absence, you break the loop. You stop reopening the wave. Non-reaction is power. Calm assumption is a clean measurement. Stability is the tool the universe uses to collapse possibilities into form. You can shift into this state right now. The first step is awareness. Awareness of your body, awareness of your mind, awareness of subtle tension in your jaw, shoulders, chest, stomach, awareness of mental scanning, anticipation, and doubt. The second step is regulation. Slow your breath, soften your jaw, drop your shoulders, lengthen the exhale, release micromuscle tension. Signal safety to your nervous system. Safety stabilizes perception. Stability collapses possibilities into form. Imagine a tuning fork near a vibrating string. If your hand shakes, the resonance is distorted. If your hand is steady, the resonance locks in. Your nervous system is the hand. Your internal state is the tuning fork. The steadier you are, the more precise the collapse. The calmer you are, the faster manifestation resolves. Most people confuse participation with interference. They think checking constantly, scanning for signs, analyzing timing is participation. It is not. Participation is presence. Calm certainty is participation. Observation without panic is participation. The field is not a machine. It does not ignore you. It responds to stabilized perception. When you stop interfering, when you stop measuring from doubt, when you stop destabilizing your nervous system, the wave collapses naturally. This is why some people manifest effortlessly. They do not obsess, they assume. They exist in the version of themselves for whom the manifestation is already complete. Their nervous system is calm, their observation is coherent, their signal is clean. That is not positive thinking, it is not imagining harder, it is applying the principles of quantum mechanics to mind and body. Your body is the instrument, your observation is the signal, your coherence is the power. The practical application is simple yet subtle. When you feel the urge to check for signs, pause. Notice the tension in your body. Relax your jaw, drop your shoulders, lengthen the exhale. Let your nervous system feel safe. Let your body release tension. Each time you do this, you stabilize your observation. Each time you pause instead of reacting, you stop destabilizing the wave. Each time you breathe and exist calmly, you provide a clear signal. Calm assumption is stronger than overthinking. Presence is stronger than desire. Stability is stronger than intensity. The universe does not respond to anxiety, it responds to coherence. The observer effect works fastest when you are neutral, not panicked, not excited, not desperate. Neutrality is power. Neutrality is presence. Neutrality collapses possibilities into reality. Most people try to manifest from urgency. They want something, they push, they check, they overthink. This produces mixed signals. Mixed signals produce delayed outcomes. Mixed signals are noise. Noise keeps possibilities suspended. The secret is to reduce noise, to reduce overthinking, to stop scanning, to stop monitoring, to stop asking when. The shift comes when your nervous system stays neutral, when your body and mind agree, when your internal state assumes completion, when tension disappears. Then observation becomes effortless. Then collapse happens naturally. Then manifestation occurs instantly. This is why repetition matters. Not repetition of affirmations, not repetition of visualization, but repetition of state. The state of calm certainty, the state of internal stability, the coherence between mind, body, and emotion. Each repetition strengthens your nervous system. Each repetition reinforces familiarity. Each repetition makes assumption normal. Normality collapses possibilities. Normality integrates. Here is a critical point most people miss. The subconscious mind does not understand time like the conscious mind. It encodes experiences emotionally. If past manifestations required struggle, waiting, or disappointment, your body anticipates that pattern. Anticipation shapes perception. Perception shapes measurement. If your nervous system expects delay, you unconsciously look for signs of delay. When you find none, you create internal tension. That tension becomes the measurement. That is the loop most people are trapped in. You visualize, feel good, check, see nothing, tighten, check again, repeat. Each repetition wires delay. The observer becomes conditioned to reinforce the old pattern. This is why nervous system regulation is essential. Without it, your observation remains unstable. Without stability, collapse slows. Without collapse, manifestation delays. To summarize the shift, awareness of your body, awareness of your mental chatter, awareness of subtle tension, pause before reacting, relax your jaw, drop your shoulders, lengthen the exhale, let your nervous system feel safe, let your body release tension. Each time you do this, you stabilize your observation. Each time you pause instead of reacting, you stop destabilizing the wave. Each time you breathe and exist calmly, you provide a clear signal. Calm assumption is stronger than overthinking. Presence is stronger than desire. Stability is stronger than intensity. The universe does not respond to anxiety. It responds to coherence. The observer effect works fastest when you are neutral, not panicked, not excited, not desperate. Neutrality is power. Neutrality is presence. Neutrality collapses possibilities into reality. Most people try to manifest from urgency. They want something, they push, they check, they overthink. This produces mixed signals. Mixed signals produce delayed outcomes. Mixed signals are noise. Noise keeps possibilities suspended. The secret is to reduce noise, to reduce overthinking, to stop scanning, to stop monitoring, to stop asking when. The shift comes when your nervous system stays neutral, when your body and mind agree, when your internal state assumes completion, when tension disappears. Then observation becomes effortless. Then collapse happens naturally. Then manifestation occurs instantly. This is why repetition matters. Not repetition of affirmations, not repetition of visualization, but repetition of state. the state of calm certainty, the state of internal stability, the coherence between mind, body, and emotion. Each repetition strengthens your nervous system. Each repetition reinforces familiarity. Each repetition makes assumption normal. Normality collapses possibilities. Normality integrates. Here is a critical point most people miss. The subconscious mind does not understand time like the conscious mind. It encodes experiences emotionally. If past manifestations required struggle, waiting, or disappointment, your body anticipates.
This is where everything comes together. The final layer of understanding is not about technique. It is about identity. Most people treat manifestation like an event. They imagine, they visualize, they feel good, they check, they hope, they wait. That is temporary alignment. That is occasional manifestation. That is inconsistent results. The observer effect is not temporary. It is consistent. It is embedded in how your nervous system communicates with reality. Your internal state is the long-term observer. Your default observation creates your default reality. If your nervous system is unstable, if your body reacts with tension, if your mind checks constantly, you reinforce delay. If your nervous system is calm, if your body exists in certainty, if your mind does not monitor constantly, you create alignment. Alignment collapses possibilities instantly. Alignment is coherence. Coherence is power. Most people misunderstand instant manifestation. They think instant means immediate physical appearance. That is not true. Instant refers to internal collapse. Instant is the moment your internal contradiction dissolves, the outcome locks in, the probability settles. The physical world may still take time to reflect the change. People get confused because they expect fireworks, they expect signs, they expect drama. Collapse does not feel dramatic. It feels ordinary. It feels stable. It feels calm. That calm is the signal. That calm is the result. That calm is manifestation. You do not need excitement. You do not need intensity. You do not need external proof. Internal resolution is enough. Internal collapse produces external alignment. The universe responds to coherence. It responds to steadiness. It responds to calm certainty. Here is where most people fail. They understand the idea. They visualize, they repeat affirmations, they want faster results, but they do not integrate it into identity. They do not train the nervous system. They do not stabilize the observer. Identity is the long-term observer. Temporary effort is short-lived. Effort produces peaks and valleys. Coherence produces baseline reality. When you train yourself to exist as the version of you for whom the manifestation is already complete, the observer stabilizes, the nervous system communicates clarity, the probability field collapses efficiently. This is the difference between occasional manifestation and sustainable automatic manifestation. Occasional manifestation feels like luck. Automatic manifestation feels like reality. It feels inevitable. It feels natural. It feels effortless. It feels like life always had it built in. So how do you integrate this? Daily practice, not rituals, not extreme effort, micro-regulation, micro-adjustments to internal state. Each time you feel tension thinking about your goal, pause, observe, breathe, relax, assume completion. Each time you exist without checking, without scanning, without reacting, you reinforce calm observation. Each time you let uncertainty feel safe, you strengthen your nervous system. Each time you assume alignment, you collapse probability efficiently. Small micro-moments repeated create new wiring. They integrate the observer into identity. They teach the body and mind that desired reality is neutral. Neutral is safe. Neutral is familiar. Familiar collapses instantly.
Foreign states resist. Threat triggers survival. Survival narrows perception. Narrow perception measures lack. When survival turns off, expansion turns on. Expansion allows the wave to resolve naturally. Expansion allows manifestation to accelerate. Expansion creates space for instant internal collapse. The paradox is simple yet powerful. The more stable you become, the less it feels like effort, the less it feels like manifestation, the less it feels dramatic. It feels ordinary. It feels calm. That calm is power. That calm is signal. That calm is coherence. That calm is collapse. People often wait for excitement, anticipation, or extraordinary signs. They miss the ordinary moment where probability settles. That is the moment of internal collapse. That is the moment manifestation becomes real. You do not need more intensity. You do not need more visualization. You do not need more hope. You need steadiness. You need calm certainty. You need neutral observation. That is enough to collapse possibilities instantly. That is enough to manifest effortlessly. That is enough to live in a reality where desired outcomes are already integrated. Let me make it clear. This is not about suppressing emotion. This is not about denying desire. This is about regulating the observer. Your nervous system is your instrument. Your body is your lens. Your breath, heart, micromuscles, mind, they are all instruments of observation. If they are chaotic, your signal is noisy. If they are coherent, your signal is clean. Clean signal produces fast collapse. Noise produces delay. Effort produces noise. Calm produces clarity. Observation from steadiness collapses outcomes instantly. Observation from reactivity keeps possibilities suspended. Every time you react from doubt, you delay. Every time you assume completion, you accelerate. Every time you exist in calm certainty, you collapse probability efficiently. Every time you stabilize internally, the field responds naturally. This is the final lesson. Manifestation stops being an event. It becomes your environment. It stops being something you chase. It becomes the state you live in. Your nervous system is coherent. Your observation is steady. Your body assumes alignment. Your mind exists in calm certainty. The field responds automatically. Opportunities align. Outcomes emerge without struggle. Synchronization happens without effort. This is identity-based manifestation. This is the observer effect applied fully to life. This is how you live in a state where collapse happens naturally. This is how manifestation becomes sustainable. This is how instant manifestation becomes effortless, ordinary, and inevitable. At the end of the day, it is simple. Stabilize the observer. Stop checking. Stop scanning. Stop reacting. Pause. Relax. Breathe. Assume completion. Train your body to exist in certainty. Train your mind to exist in neutrality. Train your nervous system to accept your desired reality as safe. This is the long-term shift. This is how manifestation becomes natural. This is how the field responds efficiently. This is how you live from a place of coherence. This is how instant manifestation becomes sustainable. This is how reality collapses around you effortlessly. This is how the observer effect works when applied fully. When you stabilize, when you exist calmly, when you assume, probability collapses. That is power. That is coherence. That is manifestation. That is instant manifestation.